Hello students, in today's video we will see a battle between our defense system and the harmful pathogens, and this battle is called as the immunity of our body. Yes, our body itself has a defense mechanism against all the pathogens, whether it is a bacteria, virus or fungi or any pathogenic spore that want to harm us and replicate into our cells. But our immunity provide us a defense mechanism that protect the body cells and also attack on the pathogens and destroy them. So in this video we will go through the major types of immunity, as well as we will see the different various cells that involve in the immunity. Majorly, immunity can be divided into two major categories: innate immunity and acquired or adaptive immunity. Our innate immunity is the first line of defense. Yes, it is the first and the foremost defense mechanism which counterattack the entry of pathogen into our body system. It involves the skin, gut and the mucous membranes. It is very fast acting because it is the first one that counterattack on the pathogen. It includes white blood cell, specifically neutrophil and macrophages. The response is non-targeting, means it is a non-specific immunity. That means it will prevent the entry of any pathogen, whether it is a bacteria or virus, or it can be fungi. It will prevent the entry of any pathogen into our body system. So it is non-specific and it does not contain the memory of germs. Yes, it cannot retain the memory. So this is the first line of defense of our immunity system, called the innate immunity. The adaptive immunity is the second layer of germ defense. Yes, it is the second line of defense. It includes lymphatic nodes, spleen, and thymus. It is slow to respond. Yes, it will take 1 to 3 days of time to came into effect. It mainly contains the white blood cell, that are B and T lymphocyte cell, that forms the antibodies against the specific antigens. Yes, it is a specific immunity. A special antibody will be prepared against a special antigen only. So this provide the specificity to our immune system, and these antibodies will contain the memory of a particular antigen. So for whenever that particular antigen came into our blood system in future, our antibodies will be prepared to attack on that particular antigen. So this provide a adaptive immunity. So this is how our immune system act against the pathogens. When we see the innate immunity, we can divide it into four layers of defense. The first and the foremost is skin, the physical barrier. It acts as a fence to prevent the entry of any pathogen into our body system. So skin is a non-specific barrier. It prevents the entry of any pathogen. And then the mucous membrane present in our mouth and in our nose will secrete the mucus, which is a sticky material. It stick the pathogens into the mucous membrane, and thus prevent the entry into the body systems. So this physical barrier is the first one that counterattack on the pathogen, and it is non-specific. The physiological barriers contains the various chemicals or enzymes that prevent the entry of pathogen into our body system. The first one is hydrochloric acid in our stomach, that destroy the bacteria or virus that is entered into our stomach with the food material. Our tears also have lysozymes that destroy the microbes that come directly into our conjunctiva in our eyes. And similarly, our saliva contains some enzymes that destroy the bacteria in our buccal cavity. Then when somehow a pathogen has made it to entry into our blood system, suppose we have a cut in our skin, so the bacteria or virus can directly enter into our bloodstream. So in our blood there are WBCs present, which act as a cellular barrier for the pathogen. It has neutrophils, macrophages, NK cells, mast cell, and many more granulocytes which attack on the pathogen and try to destroy it completely. But they are non-specific. They whenever they recognize any cell which is a foreign cell, which is not of our body cells, it will attack on them and destroy them non-specifically. And then the last one is the cytokine barrier, which secrete the interferons that counterattack the pathogens and create the inflammation process. So here we have seen the major WBC cells which provide the cellular immunity to our innate immunity system. There are mast cells that recognize the pathogen and release the histamine and tryptase and various enzymes that create the inflammation. Neutrophils are the first one that counterattack the pathogen, first cell to migrate because they are very small inside, and they are phagocytic cell, means they completely destroy the bacterial or viral cell, they engulf it. Macrophages are the large cell and they have phagocytosis process. Yes, they are also phagocytic cell but larger than the neutrophils. So they attack on the bacteria or virus and completely destroy them. There are more NK cells, eosinophils, and monocytes that also attack on the uh, pathogen cells. When we go through the adaptive immunity or acquired immunity, we can categorize into humoral and cell mediated immunity. Humoral immunity has a basic cell of B lymphocytes. These these both immunities can be carried out by the B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte cells that are present in the lymph nodes. Yes, the B lymphocyte produce plasma cells and memory B cells. These plasma cells are responsible for the production of antibodies. Yes, that provide the future immunity and plasma memories. And the memory B cells and memory T cells are responsible for the retention of memory of a particular antigen. Similarly, T lymphocyte produce three types of cells: cytotoxic T cells, memory T cells, and helper T cells. Cytotoxic T cells are the main barrier of our immunity system, which attack on the bacterial or viral cell and completely destroy them. They are very eagerous and very attacking in mode, so they attack on the virus or bacterial cell and destroy them completely. Helper T cells also has a very important function. So we will see how these innate immunity and acquired immunity defend ourselves from the harmful pathogen. Suppose an pathogen has entered into our bloodstream, yes, and it has started attacking on our body cells. So first one, the neutrophil will come into the contact with the pathogen and try to counterattack it. But it is not capable of countering all the pathogens. So then the macrophages will come the and they engulf the bacterial cells and try to destroy it. This is the part of innate immunity system. But when the infection is more, the bacteria has or virus has produced more and more bacterial cells in our blood, so they are not sufficient to counter it attack. Therefore it will send the dendritic cell to send a message to the lymph node. This dendritic cell will send message in the lymph node that a particular antigen has came into our blood, so please come and counter them. So there are T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes are present in our blood. On the message of dendritic cells, T lymphocyte will be activated and it will produce various of cytotoxic T cells. These it will create an army of cytotoxic cells that will attack on the bacterial or viral cells. Yes, they attack on very eager mode and destroy them completely. Also, T cell produce the helper T cell which activate the B lymphocytes, and memory cell will retain the memory of that particular antigen for the future infection. This B lymphocyte will generate the plasma cells and memory B cells. Memory cells will also retain the memory of that particular antigen, so we will be prepared for the next time infection. And this plasma cell will produce the antibodies. Yes, these antibodies will also attack on the bacterial or viral cells, and thus a double attack will be on the pathogen, and this completely destroy the bacteria or virus that has entered into our bloodstream. Also, these cytotoxic cells destroy the its own cell which are diseased or infected by the pathogen, so the infection will not go into the next human cell. So this is how the immunity system of our body works against the pathogen. Our plasma cell produce the antibodies which performs three main functions: agglutination, with opsonization and neutralization. So there we have seen various barriers of our body, of innate immunity system as well as the adaptive immune system that attack on every pathogen that has made entered into our body. Acquired immunity can be of active or can be of passive. Active immunity, which we develop after the exposure to an infection, and passive immunity is the immunity we get uh, by from someone or artificially inserted. Active immunity can be natural through the production of antibodies after the exposure to a infection, whereas it can be artificial when the by the vaccination. Yes, the concept of vaccination depends on the artificial acquired immunity. Yes, passive immunity we can get by the natural process of the mother's milk when baby get it immunity from the mother, and artificially we can insert the antibodies in the form of immune serum medicines. So this is how our body develop the immunity as well as we can acquire the immunity. So I hope you have understood the basic defense mechanism of our body. Thank you.